friends. I'm laughing because Dixie is about to jump over my laptop. I'm just going to grab her. I think she wants to say hello to you all. No, she doesn't. Okay. I think at some point during the show, she's going to hop over and knock over my glass of water. Hello. Let me start over. Hello, friends. Welcome to Show du Jour. This is episode number 3. I'm doing 6 episodes in 6 weeks. We're at the midway point here. Kind of a little summer break show that I just sort of conjured up. It's based on an old podcast that I used to do. And thank you, Jonathan, for all the tags. I see here you're tagging away. Thank you so much. Jonathan is directing this show. So, okay. I want to talk about loss today. And at some point, we'll talk about maybe some of the silver linings or how we grew from those losses. But I just really want to start with loss. It's a part of life, whether it's the loss of a parent, a job, a role that we took on in life, or, part of our identity. Oh, wait, there's my board, my menu board. So I want to pose a question first, and then I'm going to sing a song about loss. So for you, what is the fear that's attached to losing something? What is that fear? And I'll definitely share my fear, but I definitely would like to hear about you as well, because with loss, I think there can be fear attached to it, and we may as well just call it out. It loses its power once we put it into the light. And so think about that. Feel free to share, whether live or on replay. And just to kind of set the tone, this is a song I wrote many, many years ago. I'm actually going to adjust this so you can see my beautiful 12-string. It's called So It Goes. I've lost, and so it goes. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back, and so it goes. No one knows, who knows, heaven knows, and so it goes. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back, and so it goes. Heart wonders why are there empty pages. I've seen it fall away, even in hands of the courageous. Heart bleeding in the sea sees me, so no one can see that fool she goes. Heart wonders why are there empty pages. I've seen it fall away, even in hands of the courageous. So starting a bit on a sad note, just because, oftentimes when we lose, it brings profound grief. And hello, Renee. I see a Facebook user out there. Sandy D, Sandy Beach. I'm just going to call you Sandy Beach from now on. I like that. So you all, Jonathan's been tagging a lot when I sang the song. So did anybody answer that question yet? Just in terms of what fear do you have attached to loss? What happens inside? Is it the let me just I'll share mine, and I'll kind of wait for comments to come up on the screen if they're there. I think the best example I could give is when my father passed away. Very, very suddenly, unexpected. He had just turned 60, and then 2 weeks later, boom, he was gone. And I was so fearful of so many things. And one was I lost my person that got me. I lost that kind of lifeline in the world. That's how it felt. That fear really, really took a grip. I thought, oh my God, my safe person is gone. My person is gone. And where am I going to get that support now? And, all of that stuff just kind of started to really flood me. He was such a great sounding board too. Literally, I lost my best friend. So that fear of where am I in the world, and just that feeling of loss. And I see a lot of, thank you. Here we go. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one, Renee. Whew. Well, you know what? So can you bring that comment back up again? Yeah, can you talk about not feeling anger towards someone we love who has committed suicide? My answer to that, my initial answer is feel that anger. It's a real feeling, and it doesn't mean any ill will towards the memory of that person. But I would just say, as a therapist, honor that anger, give that anger a voice, let it flow through you. That way it will not be there long term. Sometimes when we try to shove anger down, it will just come back all the stronger. That analogy of a beach ball, you try to submerge a beach ball in water, and it takes so much energy to keep it down. And then when it blows up in a big way. So I would just say allow yourself to feel angry. It certainly won't last forever. That's for sure. I see some other comments here. Let me see what's going on here. Yeah, Jonathan, that was you with your mom. Yeah. It's like losing, when we lose a parent, it's devastating. But I will say this, that I don't know, has anybody had this feeling after you lose somebody very near and dear to you? Could be a parent, but after they pass, do you start to feel them with you? Do you start to feel their presence in some way? I'm really interested to know if any of you have had those experiences, and I certainly have. So what's happened with me in grieving the loss of my father many years ago is, I lost my best friend. I lost my safe person, the person that got me unconditionally. I have learned over the years to become that person for myself. And was it easy? No. It took a lot of work, a lot of therapy, a lot of just getting stuff out to become that person that my father was for me. So, Jonathan, I wonder where you are with that. Do you feel that you can kind of become your own best friend in that way, in the way that your mother was to you? Yes, you have felt your mom many times here. Oh, do share, because I think that is so important for us to share those stories of, I'm going to share this story with you all. And Jonathan, please share yours, and anybody else. I was devastated, beyond devastated, when my father passed. And, I had to get on medication to go back to work. It was just really, really, really bad. And I remember this was about, I don't know how many weeks after my father passed, and I had to, come back to Georgia. And I was at a training, and I didn't want to be there. I was still in that really deep, deep, sorrowful phase, and just missing my dad so much. And I had to excuse myself from the training. It just, nothing was getting in this thick skull of mine. And I'll preface this with that my father used to collect bicentennial quarters. He would just collect those and collect those. And anytime any of us found a bicentennial quarter, we would give it to him. So, I'm walking down this hallway, and there's a vending machine, and I'm just missing my dad so much. And I never do this. I walked by the vending machine, and something made me kind of stop, and I backed up a little bit, and I was like, let me see if there's any change in the coin slot. This is back when you paid with actual money. And I reached in, and there was a bicentennial quarter. And I knew that was my father saying, I'm here, it's okay, and you're okay. And I still have that quarter to this day. So I love when those things happen. It's sort of like we lose that person in one form, but we gain them in another form. Yes, I hate when someone tells me how long I can grieve. I know, yes. They tell you it's time to move on. No, just no. Yeah, totally. Yeah, everybody grieves in their own time and in their own way. There's no wrong way to grieve. Yeah, that's why I sometimes have a problem with those stages of grief. It's like what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be here and here and here, and sometimes it's not that orderly. Oh, let me see, John. John wrote, I feel my mom in warm spring days. I feel her in the midst of a quiet snowstorm. Oh, I feel her in moments of inspiration. She is in what I love. Oh, that's beautiful. That is so beautiful. Oh, what peace. That must give you so much peace. Oh, love that. Yeah. So I guess we're just kind of moving into gain a little bit. And I struggled with the word gain too, because it sounds so aggressive and grabby. But I mean, we do learn after a loss, or we do grow in some way. So after a loss, what have you gained, or what have you learned about yourself? Because with that, there's always going to be something new that comes in, or maybe a new revelation that you wouldn't have seen before. So, I'm just going to just keep my glasses on. I don't know why I keep taking them off. Jonathan wrote, so grateful I learned at a young age that grief has no expiration date. Yeah, it doesn't. We're always going to miss our loved ones, always. But how important that we can still feel them. I remember just at one point really feeling my father's energy almost just kind of like download through the top of my head. Whoop! And it was quite powerful. Yes. I learned that despite it all, I am carbon tough. I'm still here. Yeah, totally. That reminds me of, this was before my father passed, and my oldest sister and I were having a conversation of, oh my God, what are we going to do when dad passes away? We're just going to lose our shit. We're going to lose our marbles, because he was such a figure. I mean, just a figure and presence in our family. Very gentle presence, but a presence. And he did pass. suddenly it was very devastating. But I remember months later, my sister and I saying, we're stronger than we thought. We handled this better than we thought. And it was bad. But we realized how strong we actually were. Yeah, absolutely. I never think I'm like my family members until they pass. I know. Oh my God, that's an excellent point. Then suddenly I see so much of them in myself. Little things we don't pay attention to while they're alive. Yes. And what are some of those things? I would love to know that. Yeah. Yeah. With my dad, my dad had a way of a snappy comeback. He was the master at it. My dad was really quiet, and all of a sudden he would just say something, and sometimes it would just be really funny. It's like, oh my God, where'd that come from? I realize I have that ability more than I did ever before. Yeah, Em, I'm really curious for you. And sometimes I will ask, how would my dad handle this? And then all of a sudden it's there. All of a sudden it is there. Oop, I see. Let me see if she's written anything. Not yet. Yeah, I'm very curious about that. Jonathan, how about with you? Have you noticed like certain traits or ways that your mother was that are now a part of you? Because I really think that happens to us energetically. I really think there's some type of transfer of energy. And I've heard other people say this too, so I know I'm not too crazy. Oh, let's see. Here we go. I speak and I reason like my dad. My dad was the most content person I have ever met. Yeah, and you feel that within you now, don't you? Yeah, that is such an interesting point. That I think that's true. I think especially when our parents are alive, it's such a different mindset that we have as children, and then they pass, and it's almost like the mirror gets held up in some way. But I do think there's an energy exchange too. I still do. Just gonna leave these on. Why do I keep taking them off? Stop it. I'm just looking to see. Yeah. And for me too, I think with, wait a minute, Jonathan, before I move on. I have my mom's softness and care for all. Yes, you do. And aside from those traits in terms of physical, my hair is super thick like hers. Combing this mop is a bitch sometimes. Got to finger fluff it. Just finger fluff it. Or put some mousse in it. I want to see you, Jonathan, with some mousse in your hair. Let's see what happens. But yes, you do have that softness and kindness for people. We all definitely see that. And anybody watching on replay, please feel free to chime in, because I do check in at least a couple days after, up to like 2 or 3 days after the show airs. And I just want to make sure that I'm responding to all of your comments, because I just think it's so important that we dialogue about these things, these things that happen to all of us on a daily basis. And there's so much strife and conflict and people just, pitting one against the other. And I just think it's so important that we all come together on what we have in common and just sharing our human experiences, because we all have them. Wait, what, Jonathan? What are you saying about mousse? See, last week I told Renee to wear dresses, and I'm telling you to put mousse in your hair. What's wrong with me? Mousse in my hair is like putting lipstick on a hog. Not a pig, but a hog. I caught that. You're funny. All ships rising together. Let's see. My sister and I were always opposite in appearance. I was thin blonde and she was athletic and black hair. but I see her when I look in the mirror now. Yes. Isn't that weird? It is so weird when that happens. I had that happen to me with my older sister. We're very different, and no one has ever told us that we look alike. But we had a little sister trip. We went to see Paul McCartney in Tennessee, May. And I'm sitting across we're eating at a restaurant. I'm looking at her going, oh my God, we do look alike. And we have a lot of the same talking mannerisms that I never quite realized before. It is just so bizarre when that happens. Facebook user, who are you? I see a Facebook user commenting, and I don't know who you are. Wish I could tune in, Diane Marie. At work, we'll catch the replay. Thank you. Oh, that's CJ. Okay, hello, CJ. Yeah, it's going to be here in the archives. Feel free to watch. I want to share, I typically share a quote or a meme, and because I want to make sure I have time to do this guided meditation with you all. Oh, Corey's here too. Hello, Corey Lynn. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining us. This is something that I wrote, and this is what I learned about myself post-divorce, post another relationship. And this is a bridge that I wrote. I love writing bridges, by the way. I find them incredibly challenging to do and fun. And to me, this little stanza reflects what I've learned about myself with relationship loss. And I just want to share it with you. This is from a song I wrote called In Time. And I played it every so often on Come On to My House. How can my own mind know what it doesn't know? I trust not the branch, but my own wings. All I know is to just let go. That was a big, big lesson. That those branches could break at any minute. You got to trust that your wings are strong enough. And I certainly learned that over the last couple of years. You all, I am going to reply to your comments. I want to make sure that we do this guided meditation because I think it's just so important when we're talking about loss. And try not to use the word gain, but I can't help it. Loss and gain. I just think it would be fun to do a guided meditation around that. It's very, very short. It's about 3 minutes, and I think it's going to put us right at the 2:30 mark. Let me just, before we start, and I bring up or Jonathan brings up the little image that I chose. If you're driving, don't close your eyes. Like I need to tell you that, but don't close your eyes if you are driving. If you're anywhere else, you don't have to close your eyes, even if you just sort of want to. If you're walking around listening on your earbuds, or you're standing, sitting, standing on your head, whatever you're doing, it is all good. Because truly all we're going to be doing together is breathing. And so I will see you all next week, but please stay with me for these 3 minutes as we breathe together. And Jonathan, you can bring that image up whenever you've got that queued up. And then I will start. So get yourself comfortable if you want, but you don't have to. You don't have to at all. You don't have to be still. You can just simply listen. So all you need to do right now is breathe. Nothing needs to be done but breathe. And we breathe all of the time. whether we think about it or not. And we never need to make it happen. It just simply happens. We just simply breathe in and out. And that's all you need to do right now is breathe comfortably, with ease. And as you're breathing, mind just begins to observe the inhale and the exhale, and how, even without thinking, without a word, without making it happen, mind begins to realize that inhale, you are receiving, and exhale, you are releasing. So as you exhale, you release, and as you inhale, you're receiving. And the beauty of this, as we set this intention right now, is you don't even need to know what it is. There doesn't have to be a word or a phrase or a feeling or a color or an image. All you need to do is breathe, because this truly does happen with each inhale and exhale. As we inhale, we receive what is needed. And as we exhale, we release what is no longer needed. And mind just becomes more aware and lets go of the need to make it happen. It's just simply happening right now as we breathe together, receiving and releasing. Releasing, making even more space for what is being received through each inhale. It just simply happens without thought, without effort, just simply by breathing. And your deep, deep inner wisdom knows exactly what is being released and what is coming in to be received. It is everything that you need right now, in this moment, with each inhale, each exhale. You are receiving and releasing. And we set the intention together that this will continue throughout your day, just simply by breathing. And again, we breathe all the time, whether we think about it or not. There's no need to make it happen. It just simply happens. As you go about your day, maybe even tomorrow and the days after, each time you exhale, you're releasing what is no longer needed. And with each inhale, you are receiving what is needed right in that moment. That is the beauty of when we set intention with our breathing. And let's just take a few more moments. Just simply breathing, mind observing breath, knowing that you are receiving and releasing exactly what is needed at this time. And it will continue as you go about your day and tomorrow. So it is perfectly okay if you had your eyes closed. You can very gently open them. If you want to keep them closed for a while, you can do that too. But just know that this receiving and releasing continues, just simply as you breathe. And be well. And I will see you all next week. Enjoy.